Steven, this game really seemed to turn when Draymond Green left with that knee sprain. What was your impression of how things went down the stretch?
Well, he's your Energizer Bunny, and he's one of the top defensive players in the game. So anytime he goes down, you're going to suffer considerably if you're the Golden State Warriors, and I think that's one of the things that's transpired. But let's give credit where credit is due. James Harden is a superstar scorer. We all know this. That's why he dropped 27 tonight. Chris Paul didn't have a spectacular night offensively, but you saw him record 11 assists. And then you look at the bench. You look at a guy like Eric Gordon, who got aggressive. He dropped 24. You look at Tucker, who they acquired in the offseason. He gave you 20. And so when you look at something like that along those lines, and Luke Mbamute, he got 14 points as well. You're not anticipating that those guys are going to give you something offensively outside of Gordon, but that's what Houston does. Mike D'Antoni is brilliant offensively. He finds a way to get everybody involved and to make sure everybody gets their share of shots and have an opportunity to make some noise on the offensive side of the ball. That's what you saw Houston do tonight. And with CP3, they're running the show to some degree, taking the pressure off of James Harden. He was free to do damage when he needed to do damage, and that's why I think you saw in terms of the difference in tonight's game.
What does a win like this do for Houston's confidence, knowing that they can go in there and get a win, even though it's just the first game of the season?
Well, it elevates their confidence exceptionally well because they know they could score on anybody, but being down 17 and coming back and tying the score and ultimately winning the game, that shows you that you're capable of getting stops as well if you keep grinding and grinding and grinding. And that's one of the things that D'Antoni is going to preach. You know, some people will take the D out of his name and call him Antony because it's oxymoron to put D in the name of D'Antoni. When it comes to defense, that's just not going to work. But sometimes a better defense is a great offense that keeps grinding and keeps pushing and keeps coming after you, because it tends to demoralize most opponents because they struggle to keep the pace. Golden State is not a team that's going to happen to on most nights. But when you look at Houston, the fact that you could beat Golden State and you could come back from such a deficit does give you confidence against everybody else, because everybody else you're playing against are not the Golden State Warriors. So this is why they went out and got a CP3 and they got a Tucker and they got Luke Mbamute and they got these guys because they believe that there's damage that they can do, and they can clearly do it on the offensive side of the ball. We'll see if they can keep it up. Time will tell.